Lord, I always thought I had to see you to believe, but didn't know him and dying for me to be able to see that.
Lindsay
Problems don't
Barrz,
cease because
welcome
you
to
give
Little
your
Cheddar
life to Christ, but you'll
Studios
never
Thank
again
you.
Artist
be able to fight
Showcase.
and all of
Thank you.
How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
I actually just performed this song that we recorded here, My Testimony.
Yeah.
I performed it actually at the Billion Bars Club, which I copped a sweatshirt from, and shout out to Billion Bars Club, El Bezel, remember SB. They throw amazing events.
Where are they? Over in Jersey?
Yeah, well, so it was in New Brunswick last night,
Okay.
but from what I know, this is like their 16th or something like that, and they have them all over, like, New Jersey area.
Yeah. You know, doing my testimony here was a first because I've worked with several hip hop artists since we've, really become a full-fledged studio. But you were the first artist to come in here and have it be kind of faith-based, or I guess you'd call it, spiritual hip hop. And there was a lot of like deep meaning. And now that I've had, the chance to listen to the song, mix the song, master the song, like really kind of get into some of the words. Why don't you tell everyone out there what you think it's about, and then I'd like to ask a couple specific questions about some of the lyrics I heard.
Absolutely. Well, I am glad to have it been a first. I do like to be a trendsetter. I do like to do this this spiritual type of music to also show people that I'm versatile. I don't just kind of stick to one thing. I like to be like well-rounded, and I like a little bit of everything, buffet style, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And B, that even if you are a hip hop artist or a gospel artist, you could still speak about your spiritual or
Hmm.
your faith based experiences or like needs. And for me, it's like a need because um, Jesus, who I choose to believe is my higher power,
Uh-huh.
did save my life. Um, I have been in the mud, and that was because I chose to be, not because I was not because I was born without certain certain opportunities, but I actually was raised upper middle class and chose to use drugs for a long period of time, and I brought myself down to this level of
Yeah.
almost sometimes it felt animalistic.
And what were your drugs? What were your drugs of choice?
I did a little bit of everything.
Uh-huh.
I'll just leave it at
Did
that.
you like to mix and match, or are you
I did. Yeah, I did. I very much did because actually you get higher that way when you mix and match.
and in
Um,
a way, was that your former higher power?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. It made me feel, and the reasons for me having gotten high for so long was because it like quelled this inner madness that I just couldn't seem to shut up in any other way.
Yeah.
Um, I think that I always had mental illness that I was unaware of, um,
What was your mental
like
illness?
anxiety and
Hmm.
depression. Um, I since I was young, oh my God, like I was like the shyest, the most. I almost felt like buried. Like I didn't know how to express myself. I
Yeah.
didn't know how to speak on my emotions. I remember allowing people to bully me, and then just like it would fester, and I'd be so upset and angry about it. But like I didn't know how to tell them, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't even like call my friend and ask them if they wanted to schedule a play date. Like I had to have my mother do it. Like I was so shy,
Yeah.
and clearly I've broken out of that.
Yeah.
People can't even believe that's like where I came from.
Yeah.
Um, but if I had probably, either gotten on medication or started some therapy like earlier in life, like maybe I wouldn't have went down that road. And I know I read a book by Danielle Steele. I forget what it's called, but it's about her 19-year-old son that had mental illness, and they didn't treat it properly, and his life ended up being taken. And she writes about her regrets about if she had known sooner. And
Yeah.
I think that I would like everybody to know, like, if you feel like something is going on, like if you feel like I can't believe life is this way, does everybody feel this way? If you're feeling those types of feelings, like no shame in it.
Yeah.
Get help.
Did you have like cyclical thoughts in your mind as a child that would constantly sort of be on repeat? Feelings of doubt. What were some of the emotions you'd feel?
Yeah. So I remember feeling like I was ugly. I remember feeling like I didn't have much to offer. I wasn't as cool as other people. Like, why didn't people like me?
And you're so beautiful.
Thank
And your
you.
music is so beautiful.
Thank you.
And
I
yeah,
know.
there you were feeling
And
that way. But keep
that's like,
going.
yeah,
Yeah.
I really think it's just mental instability. It was mental instability because,
Yeah.
like, I would think these irrational thoughts about myself just like that.
Yeah.
Like, I had a crush in third grade, and I remember, like, putting all my efforts towards it, and then he, like, rejected me, and I remember looking in the mirror and being like, no wonder he don't like you. You're ugly.
Yeah.
Like, and it was sad. Like, for such a small child to be thinking that
Yeah.
way about herself.
I was in love in 7th grade, and I put a rose on her doorstep, and I thought it was all gonna just work out like a storybook, and it didn't. But now later on in life, we become like good friends. So I
Yeah.
know, like, it's one of those
Aw.
things where, probably in her memory and heart too, it wasn't about me. Sometimes my sister taught me that, when it comes to our partners or romance or relationship, it's not about you.
Right.
It is about the other person most of the time, and what they're going through and what they're feeling. And sometimes it's just not meant, to kind of link up at that point. And here you are, kind of coming to a new sense of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're a 12-stepper. You are someone that has gone through a 12-step program
I have.
for addiction and recovery.
I have. And to be honest, like, I tried that from age 17 until age 25. I'm 29 now. And to be honest with you, like, there was just something about the way they said, if you don't have a higher power, you can create your own. And I was somebody who didn't have my own higher power.
Right.
So what I did was create my own. But what I realized later on that didn't really make sense to me was, how do I create my own higher power? And that, in a sense, that means that I am greater than my higher power because I am its creator. Like, that doesn't make sense. It's like totally backward. And so that I could never get just step one, which was like admitting everything, because I still felt like I was the greatest, you know what I mean? Like, and so when I decided to adopt Jesus as my higher power and follow his way of living,
Did
it
you
was
adapt it?
adopt,
Or adopt it,
yeah.
or did, like, were you called, were you, as like, literally, as Jesus would say, born again in that spirituality of being chosen or being saved?
I feel I did make a choice to go that route.
Okay.
My family got into it a little bit sooner than I did, and they started to pass on the little bit of knowledge they would learn every day. And like when I was in jail, I would be on phone calls with them.
Mm-hmm.
We would talk about like the beginning of time in the Bible. We would talk about the New Testament,
Mm-hmm.
where Jesus did appear.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to, those are my parents. I trust them.
Yeah.
I trust they've always been people that I can trust, that they don't lie to me. They've never steered me wrong. They're like very exemplary people.
Yeah.
And so I listened to them, and they would send me books, and they sent me a Bible, and they were talking about how they would start to go to this new non-denominational church,
Uh-huh.
and how welcoming everybody was. And the people from the church would like send me books, send me gifts when I was in treatment centers and when I was away. And not when I was in jail, because I couldn't receive them there, but it was like I started to feel this love
Yeah.
from another population that I had never gotten love from. I always kind of felt, because of all the things I did, I was not lovable. And so to see that people that didn't even know me,
Love you.
it was like a real big eye and heart opener.
And when you were hitting rock bottom, it was because of drugs. It was
Absolutely.
feeding that addiction.
Absolutely. And the shame and the guilt that I felt for tearing my family and my loved ones through the mud with me, all the people that I hurt. And I haven't been able to like formally apologize to all those people. And I feel like there's a lot of things that I did do that didn't make me a bad person, but there's a lot of bad things that I did that I almost feel like I can't come forward about because the consequences that may occur.
Mm-hmm.
And to also answer your question before about about things that were recurring thoughts. Death. Like I used to lay in bed at night when I was a child,
Yeah,
and I would be
it's in your song.
thinking,
It's kind of how
exactly,
it kicks in.
always thinking like, what happens when I leave Earth? What happens? Where does everybody go? Where does everybody go to? Like, and the world just keeps going on and on and
Yeah,
on, and like we're just dead. Like that was
right.
so torturous to me, so torturous. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I would run into my parents' bedroom, and I remember my dad would like do things to make me laugh, and I would try to like sleep with them, and like they would, like coddle me and like kind of. But that stopped for me,
Mhm.
um, completely when I started following Jesus. And what I really love about Jesus is his morals, his character. Like, is so. I felt like I was so bad
Right.
that he is so good. And if I can just follow what he does to the best of my ability, I can be the best person that I'm able to be.
See, this is where I think I mentioned before we started talking tonight. I've been exploring a lot of theology, specifically within Christianity and all the different opinions about it. And Calvinism, something came out in the 1500s in France, basically says that you're either born damned or not damned, and your life is basically predetermined.
Mhm.
Like God is a watchmaker, Jesus, or God, Jesus is a watchmaker, and everything is preset. I've always, and this, I am not.
Mhm.
The one thing, like I would say is like I don't know exactly how I would classify every element of my faith or spirituality or belief,
Mhm.
but I believe humans are sentient, have the ability to do great good or great evil, and that
Mhm.
we we do acts. We can do great acts of kindness. We can be sort of mediums of whatever that higher power is.
I see.
I've run into kind of like a wall with that. Yet in a 12-step program, isn't that part of it? Isn't part of the thing that you're supposed to do, to go around and like ask for forgiveness?
Yeah, you're supposed to make amends wherever possible.
Yeah,
Um, you're supposed to write a list of the people. I think then you review it with your sponsor. I honestly never got that far. I
yeah,
could never get past doing step 3 with a sponsor. I also don't think I ever found a sponsor that I really like, really full on clicked with, that I was able
yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest with. But that is part of it. And so it's like whenever I forget the exact verbiage, but whenever you make the amends whenever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others.
yeah. How would you want to close things up for your fans out there and the people out there in the audience?
So I certainly I very much enjoyed making this song. I very much enjoyed performing it last night, and I was almost a little bit nervous because um, I didn't know how people were going to react. And like, yes, I care about what people think because I also do music for my fans, and I
Right.
want to deliver something that represents me, but is also enjoyable to them.
Yeah.
Um, and I was so comfortable doing that song last night, even more comfortable than my second song, which wasn't about my testimony or wasn't about Jesus, but I always kind of do slip in God into my lyrics.
Yeah.
But I do not want to limit my fan base. I do not want to be titled a Christian rapper.
Hmm.
I do like to make spiritual rap or Christian rap or faith based rap. I found that it's something that also helps me be closer to Jesus, which in turn helps me follow him more and be a better person.
Thank you so much for coming in today and sharing
Thank
so
you for
much with all
having
of
me.
us. It's a pleasure.
It is a
You're a great
pleasure.
artist,
Thank
and
you.
you're always welcome back at Little Cheddar.
Thank you. And also, my music video, Persona Non Grata, is coming out. I don't have an exact date, but it is this month. It's a high budget film. It's one of my favorite songs that I've ever made. Persona Non Grata means a character not welcomed. My Instagram is Lindsay.Barrz. So it's Lindsay like Lohan, dot bar like Roseanne,
Yeah.
with a Z at the end. I'm on all major music platforms. Peace out.
Peace out.
Lord, I always thought I had to see you to believe, but didn't know him and dying.